Hi Mr. T, my name is Andre and this is my partner,
Mickey.
and today we're going to be showing you how to kind of take apart certain components in that PC right there.
And doing it safely
Yes.
and not damaging any other computer parts. So when taking apart a computer, we gotta make sure of some key rules so that we won't damage the computer, because at ECD, electrostatic discharge can only 10 volts of electricity can damage a computer part. So we just need to take some precautions. So always have the computer on a table. Alright, don't be sitting because rubbing your back against the chair can cause static electricity. Don't wear sweaters that can produce lots of static electricity. So, take it off, and then, so to open it, there's a little slot here, right? So we're gonna pull that, and as you can see, the computer pops out. Computer goes like that, top comes off. And so right now, to get zero potential, we're gonna touch the inside of the computer, okay? And this computer here is coated with a paint that prevents static electricity. This is so that the components won't be damaged from electricity.
Okay, so now that you've grounded yourself and you're 100% sure you don't have any static electricity in your body, or you're at zero potential, now it's time to kind of look around the computer and see what's inside. So if you take a look here, this big bad boy is the power supply, and right there is where the plug comes in from your actual kind of wall socket, and it plugs into here and it goes right into this metal box. So what it does kind of is just sends electricity or power throughout all the components of this PC. And I mean, you'll see two types of cables. You'll see these kind of normal circular cables, and then you'll see these flat-ish cables. So the flat ones are called ribbon cables, and what they do is they transport data. And the circular, normal, kind of colorful ones like these, what they do is they transport power from the power supply. And as you can see, all of these kind of, it's hard to see what, like, it plugs into the motherboard. Also here, this goes into the DVD drive.
So now we're going to be taking apart the CD drive and the floppy disk. And so it looks a lot more familiar from the outside here. So to take it apart, what you do is you lift this little latch up. It slides out like that. Alright, so this is the CD drive, so it can, yeah. The floppy disk drive right here slides out like that. Just like that. Alright, and as you can see underneath here, we have our hard drive. So this one is, where does it say? 48 gigabytes. Or sorry, 80 gigabyte capacity. So that's for these computers, but the computers nowadays are 500 gigabytes to 2 terabytes. So now to put back the floppy disk drive, we just align the little screws on the side, and it should click into place. Same thing with the CD drive. Should go like that and slide into place and click, and there you go.
Okay, so now after we're done this, we're going to be taking apart like the RAM, the random access memory. You can see those little thin lines right there, and hopefully we'll be able to take out the heatsink as well as the CPU, which is under here. So let's get into the random access memory, also known as RAM. So as you see, this is the slot, and what you want to do is there are two kind of pin clicky things. That's the scientific name. And what you want to do is you push them down. You'll see it pops right out, and this thing will kind of eject out, pull it out. It's very dusty, and a couple precautions you want to take is first make sure you ground it, bang. Also, you do not want to touch these gold connectors right there, because you could potentially damage it. And when putting it back, you see there is a notch there, and it's actually not in the middle. So when you're looking at these cartridge holders down there, you'll find the notch kind of right there. You have to match it up. So that's how you know it's in the right way. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slide it in like that. And you want to push on the both ends of it. Because if you push in the middle, you could probably break it. So you're pushing on both ends until you hear a snap. Be careful, because you actually need to push pretty hard. Boom, there's one. There's the other. So as I showed you guys earlier, or showed you, Mr. T, earlier, we looked at the back and we talked about that thing, the AC input, or alternating current. And we have a bunch more kind of I/O plugins, or yeah, slots. So right here we have the way a computer talks to the monitors. So that one's the VGA, that's the most popular one. And over here we have a big row of
USB ports. I did not say Ethernet ports in the video, and this is not me recording this while I am editing the video.
And over there we have our Ethernet, or our LAN. What that does, it's basically a wide connection directly to internet, so it's much faster than your wireless, like what your phone would use. Again, that's the power. And here are the headphones and microphone. Over here on this side of the case, as you can see, this just, see that? Boom, comes right off. And what this was, is it was right here, it was there, and what you would do is these three kind of relate to this, because these are for your sort of expansion card slots. So if you wanted like a graphics processor or a sound card, you'd stick it in here, and it would come out of this end. But you have to actually take these out for the kind of slot to appear on the outside, kind of like these. But since this computer does not have any, we just put them back. And the reason why we kind of keep them closed is so that it prevents any more dust from coming into this computer.
Alright, so right now we're going to be taking apart the heat sink, and we'll be able to see the CPU and the cooling fan. So as you can see, if you come over here, CPU is right underneath there, right in there. Alright, so the CPU gets hot, so it produces heat. So the heat sink is there to absorb the heat, and then the cooling fan's there to shoot the heat out. So basically to take it off, you unscrew it here. I already pre-did it. There's a screw there and a screw on the side as well. Right, so it lifts off like that. And there's, yep, lifts off just like that. And as you can see here, this is the heat sink. It has lots of surface area because it wants to absorb as much energy as possible. And so the thermal paste, as you can see right here and right there, is used to transfer the heat faster from the CPU to the heatsink, and the CPU is processing everything that's going on in the computer. That's why it's so hot. So right here is the cooling fan, and that shoots out of the computer.
Kind of it's not really the biggest, but it's the widest. It's the motherboard. So what the motherboard does is it, one way or another, connects everything to everything. It's kind of like the spine or the nervous system of your computer, I guess. You'll notice a couple things when you're looking at the motherboard. First, it's big. It's this green thing right there. See it? Boom. Very big. And you'll notice these kind of, they're actually capacitors. Over here, you'll see similar to this, and this is the I guess it's the heatsink of the motherboard. That looks like the CPU, and it is the central processing unit for the motherboard.
Alright, so right here we have the
Hello? Yeah? Occupied.
There's two of you in there? No.
No? No? It's just me.
Alright, so the motherboard here, I'm not going to be taking it out today because it's very fragile, and this is a working computer, so we don't want to ruin any of it. And also the CPU is attached to it, and it's just too difficult to take out. So we're gonna, now we went through the whole computer, we're gonna put this back on. So these little two slots here line up here with these ones. So we do that, and then it should click in. Just like that, and we're done. There's alright,
Yeah.
alright, alright.